Hi everyone, my name is Denise and this is my baby Yogi, and today I am going to recommend you horror movies to watch at night, and it's for October 8th through October 14th. Please ignore this little mark. I think I got bit on my neck. For October 8th, I am going to recommend the movie The Fly, which came out in 1986. I remember catching a glimpse of this movie before I left the house. I remember I just turned on the TV and was flipping through random channels, and I stumbled upon this movie, and I thought to myself, oh wow, I really wanted to see this movie. Well, back then when I didn't see it. But I remember saying to myself, oh wow, I really wanted to see this movie. I wonder what part they're in. Oh my god, I should have turned off the TV because the scene that was about to unfold was so disgusting to me personally. That's Yogi growling at someone who's locking their car outside. In my last video, horror movies to watch, for October 1st through 7th, I spoke about how I don't like to hear or see when bones crack or when bones pop out. Oh my gosh. Because the funny thing and the crazy thing and the unlucky thing about when I was watching it back a few years ago, was that I was close to the TV and I didn't have on my glasses, and I was just standing really close looking up at the TV just watching what was going on, and somebody broke a bone and I was right there, right in my freaking face, and no lie, I'm gonna cover my face because I almost like wanted to throw up, so I was like ugh. So I honestly just shut off the TV after that, and I just left because the last person who needed to get ready was finally ready after I almost threw up and was traumatized. And no lie, 45 minutes after watching that scene, I finally was able to kind of forget about it until I went back home and I saw the TV and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember. During 2020, when we were all stuck in the house, I finally gathered up the courage to see this movie by myself from beginning to end. And when I tell you the freaking ending had more bones and more gruesome stuff happening, and I was like, oh my god, why did I want to watch this movie? But at the same time, I can't help but have so much respect for this movie. I love the idea of it, even though it really freaks me out, and even though it has freaking bones breaking, and oh my god, this is disgusting, but I still have respect for this movie. Maybe one day when I gather up the courage again, maybe I can see it with someone, although maybe who knows, maybe I can watch it by myself again or with Yogi, even though 9 times out of 10 he will be sleeping. But I highly recommend to watch this movie at night so that way you can kind of immerse yourself into the thrill of it, into the suspense of it, which I do also like how it builds up little by little. Oh my god, it's for me it's disgusting, but at the same time I can't help but one day I would like to watch it. That's what I wanted to say. I can't help but want to rewatch it, even though it really disgusts me. But I think that's what people like, that's what people want. People want to be scared, people want to freak out. I don't know why my voice just cracked there, but people want to be freaked out, people want to get a little disgusted with the idea of becoming a fly. So that's why I think a lot of people are drawn to horror movies or drawn to this movie. I know it's not good to compare 80s movies to movies from today, but I do miss how there wasn't a lot of like CGI. Well, back then they probably didn't have it, but they had to work for it. They had to build it from scratch. All the makeup, all the machinery, everything. They had to build it with their own hands. And that's what I miss more in today's movies, because now I see that a lot of movies can rely on CGI or green screen. But I really do miss how, even though it looked fake looking back at it, but I do like how the costuming or the makeup effects, even though, again, it looks fake, but I do like how it kind of looks realistic, or gives you the impression that it's real because, you know, they put it on the actor's face or body or whatever. And comparing it to today's movies, you can tell when it's CGI because it doesn't look 100% real, or maybe like the lighting is off or something. You can just tell that it's not real, that it's from computers. I don't know. They have so much money, but yet they can't really make it look realistic. But that's why I like movies from back in the day, because you can tell they put their whole heart and soul and energy into creating a masterpiece, into creating something that is really going to freak out the audiences. Although I'm not saying that today they don't really care, but I just prefer when actual people build something or create something instead of relying on computers, you know. For October 9th, I'm going to recommend the movie Prince of Darkness, which came out in 1987. Right off the bat with Prince of Darkness, I have to say that this movie really messed me up for a few days. The ending was so depressing. Well, it was so depressing, number one. Number two, it was so scary. And number three, I feel like if I would have seen Prince of Darkness as a kid, the ending and basically the whole movie would have given me nightmares if I was to have seen that movie as a kid. I mean, it was just so heartbreaking and so depressing. And on top of that, throughout the whole movie, well, of course not in the beginning, but little by little, throughout the whole movie, I can slowly feel the tension building up. And I don't know if it was the music. Well, I feel like the music had a big part to do with me getting anxiety when I was watching it. But also the acting, the characters, what was going on in the movie. It really freaked me out. It really, truly messed me up for a few days. It got me thinking about a lot of stuff. And I mean, the number one thing I would have to say is the ending, man. The ending really, it really stayed with me, even like days after watching it. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but it's true. The ending was so sad, but also so scary, like I said. So I do highly recommend that you watch this movie at night, but just beware. I mean, I know everyone has their own levels of which horror movies they're into, so maybe some people, Prince of Darkness wouldn't affect them, but maybe others it would really like give them chills and really freak them out. So if you want to watch Prince of Darkness at night, watch it at your own risk, because that movie is freaking crazy. I also like how Alice Cooper was in Prince of Darkness. I found that really cool. For October 10th, I'm going to recommend the movie Stir of Echoes, which came out in 1999. I remember possibly back in 2017, 2018, my cousin Cindy showed me this movie and we were watching it downstairs in my living room, and there was this one freaking jump scare. I don't remember where exactly it was in the movie. Maybe when the scene is coming up, maybe I'll remember it. But there was this one freaking jump scare that made me jump because I wasn't expecting it. So I was watching the TV, my cousin Cindy is sitting to the right of me, and all of a sudden the jump scare happens and I scream and I jump back, and my cousin Cindy's like, "Oh my god, I wasn't expecting you to have that reaction." And I was like, yeah, my heart almost popped out of my ass. I was so scared, and it genuinely got me. I just love how that jump scare just, for me personally, just like happened out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even think that there was going to be a jump scare, and it really got me. Almost 10 years later, I still remember how that jump scare made me react, and looking back at it, it was hilarious, but in the moment, I genuinely was scared. And after I like calmed down, every little thing, I was already like expecting another jump scare to happen. So when I was watching the movie, I was like, ugh. I was like flinching, and my cousin Cindy said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I think like another jump scare is gonna happen." So I was trying to mentally prepare myself for a jump scare, but yeah, that one jump scare really messed me up for the rest of the movie. For October 11th, I'm going to recommend the movie The Mist, which came out in 2007. The number one thing I have to say about The Mist is that a lot of the characters are going to piss you off, and if they don't, God bless you. I don't know how they cannot bother you or piss you off, but a lot of the characters in The Mist, for me personally, oh my god, really pissed me off, especially this one lady. Of course, they don't have a picture of her in the back, but there's this one lady in particular that really pissed me off. She was very religious. For me personally, religion can be a very beautiful thing. It can be very helpful to a lot of people, but of course, there's a lot of other people that do ruin religion for a lot of others, whether it's forcing it down their throats or shoving the religion in their face and trying to force them to believe and force them to join their church or whatever. But this freaking lady, man, she really pissed me off. And I know a lot of you don't know my mother, but my mother doesn't really like horror movies, but I somehow convinced her to watch The Mist. And when I tell you, even that lady, the religious lady, pissed my mom off so bad. It was just the most funniest thing, and extremely rare for my mother to not be upset but be frustrated at a movie character, because with her, she just watches the movie and towards the end she's like, oh yeah, the movie's good, the movie's bad, or whatever, but she never really gets too involved with the characters like I do. So it was extremely incredible to see my mom be so angry at that lady. So that's when you know, like, if a person that you know doesn't really get mad or get frustrated at movies, and The Mist and that one lady pissed them off, that's when you know the movie's really good. And one more thing, I know when people are like freaking out, or when the world is going crazy and the world looks very scary, a lot of people often try to cling to an idea or cling to a person. And I just wish, I know this is just a movie, but I wish in the movie and in real life people would just take a step back and try to think for themselves rather than put all their hope, and I don't know what else to call it, but basically all their hope into one person and make this person their idol. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a lot of people in this movie that just quickly looked up to that religious lady, and I was just like, my god, like, you people are so easily brainwashed into believing this lady, and I bet you half of you don't even know her. I don't know, this movie just really makes you think about, God forbid, if you were trapped inside a supermarket with a bunch of people that maybe you know, or maybe you say hi and bye to, but to actually be stuck with them, then that's when, of course, their true colors start to come out. And yeah, this movie, oh my god, a lot of, like I said, a lot of the characters, oh my god, so freaking frustrating. The ending, of course, the ending is what I feel like is most talked about with The Mist. I don't know why, but for some reason the ending, of course, makes me feel many different emotions. Number one, of course, it's heartbreaking. Number two, it makes me think, oh my god, like, what could have been if people would just be patient and not just give up hope so quickly. And number three, for some reason, it makes me feel awkward and frustrated and a little scared. But I think when you're trapped inside a situation where you feel like you can't get out, or you feel like there is no way out, maybe you or a lot of people will do stuff that you never thought you would have to do in your life. So that's why I think the ending really just kind of freaks me out a little bit. And of course, all those other feelings that I listed before. For October 12th, I am going to recommend the movie Wreck, which came out in 2007. Now with Wreck, I spoke about this movie a few times on my channel, so I'm going to try to make this quick or give a summary of what I spoke about in those other videos. So with Wreck, I love the characters Manu because he's a team player. He'll do his best to protect anyone and everyone and defend himself, of course. And I also love Caesar because he is just so hilarious. I don't think I ever said this in any of the other videos where I did a movie review or spoke about Rec, but what really frustrated me and of course freaked me out and scared me was that of course the government was trying to cover up what happened or try to keep it a secret. And man, that concept always freaks me out and scares me because I'm really into a lot of like Area 51s or theories on different stuff. I don't know what it's called, but I'm always into that type of content. And I'm like, you know what? They would do that. I'm like, of course we know, but we don't have any proof because maybe they covered up their tracks. But at the same time, it freaking scares me so bad. So with Rec, just seeing this movie every time when they start to cover up the building, it really starts to freak me out because God forbid if I'm ever in that situation, no offense, but I'm going to try my best to survive. And I feel like just seeing when the government was closing all the, not closing all the windows, but they were trying to cover it up. And I feel like if I was to, God forbid, ever see that, I would feel like I'm backed into a corner and God only knows what I'm going to do. So no matter how many times I'll see this movie, I will always think to myself, God forbid, what would I do in that situation? Because I can see myself maybe freaking out a little, but also getting extremely angry that they would try to cover it up and try to keep me in the building with all those infected people. I'll be pissed. For the next two movies, I'm going to talk about them together. So for October 13th, I'm going to recommend The Collector, which came out in 2009. And for October 14th, I'm going to recommend The Collection, which came out in 2011. The crazy thing is that I saw The Collection first, which is the sequel, and then sometime later or months later, I saw the first one, which is The Collector. The Collection is gonna steal the spotlight from The Collector real quick because The Collection is the first movie to ever make me scream and gag a little bit, because this is the movie where I found out that I hate to hear bones crack. When I tell you, when that freaking part came on, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was just gonna be like any normal horror movie, and when that part came on and I heard that freaking bone break, I screamed, and then I went and then I started to almost throw up. But oh my god, when I tell you, I did not know I had that fear until I saw this movie, which this movie of course unlocked that fear or disgust of hearing and seeing the bones break. Oh my god, it was just so disgusting. And my cousin Cindy, of course, likes the main guy. If I'm not mistaken, his character name is Arkin. They have pictures in the back, but it's like really, really small. Let me see. Yeah, it's too dark, but that's the guy right there. But yeah, whenever I see this movie and I see that guy, I think of I think of my cousin Cindy having a crush on him. Oh, Yogi stretching. But yeah, if you're mentally prepared to see two movies that are disgusting. That's Yogi. He jumped off the couch. He woke up from his nap. If you are mentally prepared to see two movies that are disgusting and have, for me, disgusting and disturbing body horror, these two movies are great. And that just reminded me, again, with the collection, the sequel, oh my god, this movie also unlocked the fear that if I'm in a crowded place, or let's say a club, which 9 times out of 10 I would never go to because of this movie. Well, actually I went to a club last summer to see Bianca Del Rio and Lady Bunny and a few other drag queens, but sorry, I got sidetracked. But because of the movie, The Collection, I look up at the ceiling every time I walk into a crowded place or a place that the ceilings are high or the ceiling looks dark because of this movie, The Collection. That's another part of the movie that really traumatized me and really stuck with me after watching it like 10 years ago. But yeah, I have to mentally prepare myself to watch The Collector and The Collection because I know I'm in for a wild ride, and I know The Collection is going to freaking traumatize me again. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for hearing me talk a lot about the movies that have traumatized me. And I hope you do watch these movies at night, but I hope you do not get traumatized. But yeah, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. And one more thing, please be nice to other people and please be nice to animals, because the other day, this rude guy came over and he rang the doorbell a few times, and of course he was trying to sell something, but I couldn't answer the door because Yogi had a little accident. So the guy came back a few hours later and my mother was hanging out at the porch, and of course he was trying to sell her something. And I remember I just wanted to quickly apologize to the guy for not answering the door before, because Yogi had a little accident, so I was occupied. And I remember I started talking to him and I told him, was it you who rang the doorbell before? And he said, yeah, with a little attitude. And I remember I started telling him, oh, I'm sorry, is that my dog had an accident? And he cut me off and he asked, oh, your dog had an accident? And I said, yeah. He's like, well, I don't really care that your dog had an accident. And he just walked away. Once he realized that my mother and I weren't going to be able to buy from him, he just got rude and nasty real quick. And that was like a huge red flag. So no offense, but I hope no one is dating him, because that is just such disgusting behavior. But yeah, that really pissed me off. Like, just to be rude just because someone can't buy from you. I mean, does he not know the climate that we're in? That really just really pissed me off. But yeah, don't be a... Oh, I almost cursed. But don't be a rude person like that guy. Don't be a walking red flag, because that was so disgusting. And I understand it's frustrating when people don't buy from you or when you have to raise your numbers up. But if you have an attitude like that, of course no one's going to buy from you. And look, how could he disrespect this little beautiful face? My baby didn't do nothing wrong. Right, Yogi? Yogi's ready to use these paws against him next time. Hopefully there won't be a next time, because I thought of this scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where I believe it's Frank who says, oh, we should throw an egg at this guy that's riding his bike in the middle of the street or something.
Want to egg him? Yeah, I want to egg him. You got eggs? No, that would have been good though. That would have been good.
And yeah, that's the part that I thought of. When the guy walked away, I was like, damn, if only I had an egg, like a random egg in my pocket, and I would have thrown it at him. Of course, maybe I would have gotten in trouble, but to defend this little face, look at that. How can anyone be mean to an animal, to a precious little dog, and to two females? That is just so rude and so disgusting, right, Yogi? Yogi says yes. Very rude. But yeah, please be nice. It's already a cruel, mean world out there. We don't need any more mean people. I know it's hard to be nice, trust me. But it's worth it in the end, because at least you can spread positivity and love out there. And at least you can go to bed and tell yourself, you know what? Today was hard, but at least I'm not a rude person. Look at my baby. He's so cute. Honestly, how can you be mean to a dog or to any animal or to any human being? Oh my God. That's just so crazy to me. I'm so sorry for that little rant. I just really needed to get that off my chest and to try to motivate people to be more nicer, especially to animals, because they can't defend themselves. And they don't deserve any mistreatment or any rude comments. Please don't forget to like the video, comment. Oh, he smells something. Or he sees something. Oh my God, what is it? Please don't forget to like the video, comment if you have seen any of these movies, and if you did you like them? Did you hate them? What's your opinion on them? And please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out, and it's free. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Peace.